Hi, in this video, I will continue to create our uh, report with rates. Let's look at previous one. In the last video, we created activity rates. Now I want to create a find rate method to find proper rate for our activities. And let's go back to our project. This method is will be located in tables. The best place to this uh, this method is our rate table. This one. Now let's create a new method here. Okay. First, this will be static and amount. Find rate. Okay. And of course we need a date here. Okay. Also, let's create okay. If you don't like to be this way, you can this way. Of course, best practice to use tab. Now I need, of course, the activity rates here. Okay. Okay, there are lots of ways to uh, write a query for this one, and maybe this is not the best way, but I want to show you this kind of usage. Maybe the best practice is using a query for this kind of requirements, but I will write simple queries. Okay, let's look the project. My start date should bigger than my trans date, and my end date should smaller than my trans. This is okay. So if I have a record with a worker, project ID, and cast account, I want to select this one first. If this is exist, it is a match for me. Okay. Now, if it is not matched, I can select like this. If it is not match, I need another, of course. Sorry. I need another select. But this time, I don't want to give worker. If I add a rate, just cost and cost account and project ID, I want to select this one. And let's, of course, this should be like this. And in this, if still not exist, then I should delete this one. Okay. And eventually, I need to forget to add this course. I think I have a parenthesis issue. Okay, I write this parenthesis wrongly. So now it's okay. Let's look at it again. First, I select for table. Second, I select for just project ID and cast account. And lastly, with cast account. I didn't use table group all in here, but if I restricted entries with that, I can use. It's a good practice to use actually, because we added this field to our index. We can use like this, and this should be all. Can add this one to everywhere. Of course, this should be group, and should be, and this one table. Okay. Now we can use this method in our reports. Let's look at our report. This was our report, and in our report, we are seeing uh, our uh, our activities in that month for a customer, and this method, there is a method called at range, and in this at range method we are filling a temporary table for our report, and uh, so I want to add a new functionality to this report. Let's go back to our uh, manager class, and here is my activities. So I just want to use this one like this. So uh, I have this, sorry, where is it? Yes, this table, and I create a new uh, static method for finding rates, and also I have this, and let me look at, yes, I have this one, and I have these parameters, of course. And of course activity text date. Yes. Now let's create a total for use this one. Okay. Now I have a, of course I don't need this one. I have a field with total amount. Now let's create a car method for this total amount. Sorry, I declare it in method, but I should declare it in class, so it should be global. Now it's all perfect. Now let's go back to our, sorry, continue. Okay, there's no problem actually. So after run, let's aim for this one. Sorry, it's not showing my total amount. There is a problem, and because of that, it's not showing. Okay, there is another problem. Let's rebuild our application and try again. Okay, now I think yes, I have a total amount here. Let's not forget this one. Yes, so let's run and see if it is work. Okay, there is something I forget. Let's go back to our project. I'll calculate the rates, but the rates should be multiplied with the duration, invoice duration, because this is, I thought this was a 1 hour rate, so I need to multiply with my invoice duration. Let's use this one. Okay, now it's more correct, I think. So let's start again. Okay, now let's get our project. And sorry, this is our activity form. Let's go back to activity report. Yes, and total amount. Sorry, we forget to it. Of course, we forget to add this one. Let's start again. Okay, let's go back. Okay, we couldn't find any, but we need to select first, I think, customer. Let's calculate again. For this customer, we don't have any record. Maybe let's select this one. Now we have records. The total amount is not working. We have invoice duration, yes. And let me check our, okay, I find the problem. So I confused here. This should be table group. This should be table, and this should be all, because we enter cost account with all, not worker. So let's run again. Okay, sorry. When I looked, there's a problem with date. Start date should smaller than my date, so it should be like this. Okay. Now, when I calculate my report, I can see my total amount here. Okay, let's go back and see what we've done here. First, we created a activity rate table, and in this table, we created a new method for finding rate. and we did these queries. And in our report manager class, we created a global variable called total amount, and with this method, we selected the rate of related uh, date and related values, and multiply with invoice duration, and we returned this to our form. And in our form, in this method, we are uh, we are showing this value. Of course, we can add this to grid or any design object, but I don't want to spend much more time for this example. So now we can calculate the total amount of these activities, and I will planning to create an invoice from this report, and I hope it's helping. Happy days.